See. Able to see the verse. System स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा ईश्वरपदन्तिं वन्देहं श्रीगुरुं श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं सग्रजातमं सगुणां सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादां सगणं हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते तप्त काञ्चन Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Nirvanamani Hare Vanchakalpadrupyascha Vasindubhyeva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavabhyo Namo Namaho Vishnupadaya Vishnuprestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nidhami Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharya Nirvisesha Shunyaschatya Deshataye Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 2, verse numbers 14 and 15. Deitavasheshu Goreshu Vete Bhuta Gane Vrataha Adi Unmattavam Nagno Adati Unmattavam Nagno Vyukta Kesho Hasandrudan Chitabhasmakrita Snanam Retashram Rastibhushanam Sivapadeshu Ahriya Shivo Sivapadeshu Matto Matta Janapriya Pati Pramatanathanam Tamo Matratmakatmanam. What meaning here? Preta Aveshu. At the burning places of dead bodies. Goreshu. Haribo. Preta. By the Pretas. Bhuta Ganaya. By the Bhutas. Vrita. Accompanied by Achati. He wanders. Unmattavat. Like a madman. Nagna. Naked. Yukta Keshaha. Having scattered hair. Hasan. Laughing. Rudan. Crying. Chita. Of the funeral fire. Basma. With the ashes. Kritasnana. Taking bath. Preta. Of the skulls of dead bodies. Shrak. Having a garland. Na Asti Bhushanam. Ornamented with dead men's bones.
Ornamented dead man's bones.
Siva Padesha.
Siva
Who is Siva or auspicious only in name?
Who is Shiva? Auspicious only in name.
He for Asiva.
Asiva.
Inauspicious. Matta. Crazy. Matta Janapriya. Very dear to the crazy beings.
Crazy.
Pasihi. The leader.
Pramatanathanam.
Of the lords of the Pramatas. Sama Matra Atmaka Atmanam. Of those grossly in the mode of ignorance. Translation and purport by His Reverence Vaishnava Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. He lives in filthy places like crematoriums, and his companions are ghosts and demons. Naked like a madman, sometimes laughing and sometimes crying. He smears crematorium ashes all over his body. He does not bathe regularly, and he ornaments his body with a garland of skulls and bones. Therefore, only in name is he Shiva or auspicious. Actually, he is the most mad and inauspicious creature. Thus, he is very dear to crazy beings in the gross mode of appearance, and he is their control. Those who do not regularly bathe are supposed to be in association with ghosts and crazy creatures. Lord Shiva appeared to be like that, but his name Shiva is actually Vipu, but he is very kind to persons who are in the darkness of life, such as unclean drunkards who do not regularly bathe. Lord Shiva is so kind that he gives shelter to such creatures and gradually elevates them to spiritual consciousness. Although it is very difficult to raise such creatures to spiritual understanding, Lord Shiva takes charge of them, and therefore, as stated in the Vedas, Lord Shiva is all auspicious. Thus, by his association, even such fallen souls can be elevated. Sometimes it is seen that great personalities meet with fallen souls, not for any personal interest, but for the benefit of those souls. In the creation of the Lord, there are different kinds of living creatures. Some of them are in the mode of goodness, some are in the mode of passion, and some are in the mode of. Lord Shiva takes charge of persons who are advanced Krishna conscious Vaishnavas, and Lord Brahma takes charge of persons who are very much attached to material activities. But Lord Shiva is so kind that he takes charge of persons who are in gross ignorance and whose behavior is lower than that of animals. Therefore, Lord Shiva is especially called auspicious.
Jai.
All the assembled Vaishnavas here, because I do not qualify to speak on the highest subject matter, Srimad Bhagavatam. I just humbly request prayers from all the devotees so that I can speak to myself and try to implement as much as whatever I speak. Right? Probably this. Lord Shiva, and especially why Lord Shiva is accompanying the ghosts and other mode of ignorance living entities. Here, but in the purport, Srila Prabhupada is writing about the three incarnations. Lord Shiva takes care of Krishna consciousness, Vaishnavas. And Lord Brahma takes care of who is materially inclined, and Lord Shiva takes care of people who are in the mode of ignorance. So our scriptures, we'll talk a little bit on the subject here, and then we go on to the festivity of Lord Jagannath's Rath Yatra today. First of all, just understand the mood of Lord Shiva, and we can go on to even this experience of Srila Prabhupada, especially giving the mercy to all the living entities who are completely in the ignorance. So, if they are not there, Lord Shiva is not there, who will be taking care of all the living entities? What I ignorance. Our Vedic knowledge gives a chance to every living entity, whoever and whatever their consciousness. There is an opportunity from there to rise above. So that is what Srila Prabhupada is writing, especially Vedas talk about how these fallen souls can be elevated. only because of Lord Shiva's association, only they can be elevated. All these great souls, they don't have anything to deal with these souls, fallen souls. But just to benefit all the conditioned souls, they come and give their association. There's nothing else. To that fact, if you go on to the Srila Prabhupada's life, he just came to the New York City and started this Hare Krishna movement and started, you know, giving his association to all the different kinds of people who do not have any idea about Krishna consciousness, completely engrossed in material activities. Just because of Srila Prabhupada, we are all blessed to be in the wonderful process of Krishna consciousness and practice this process to make a tangible progress to understand the Supreme Lord. If we look at the festivity that we are all going to celebrate in a few hours, if you talk about Jagannath and his Rath Yatra, and actually Srila Prabhupada brought this festivity to the West. It started in San Francisco. And the first Rath Yatra that Srila Prabhupada named as New Jagannath Puri. Just because of Srila Prabhupada, every major city in the world is celebrating Lord Jagannath. When he started in all the pandas in Puri, they are all complaining. They may lose their authenticity and proprietorship of the Rath Yatra. Jagannath, Srila Prabhupada says he's not Odiyanath, he's Jagannath. He is the Lord of the universe. He's not restricted only to Orissa. So many things that Srila Prabhupada actually, at this age of 5, Prabhupada is so much attached to Lord Jagannath. He started doing children's Rath Yatra in Kolkata. One time, like, Srila Prabhupada is sitting in marketplace to buy. He wants to build a chariot, and when he was visiting, and he was not getting the wheels and other parts for the chariot, and he was so disappointed in his crying. And his father um, is asking him, "What happened? I don't see any uh, wheels or any chariot items here to buy." And then and Mataji was telling Srila Prabhupada's father, "No, we have in our backyard we have the broken pieces of the chariot, and why can't you use that?" And then immediately Srila Prabhupada goes to that place and then he collects all that and with his father. He starts building the chariot. Today is also Father's Day, and we are celebrating Father's Day with the Supreme Father is coming out on the chariot. Father's Day is here, it's very difficult to understand. Father's Day celebrated one day and we don't have that respect rest of the 364 days. Even on the same day also, the children there, they make all these cards and gifts. In the school they advertise in Mother's Day, Father's Day. But it's the Supreme Lord is always to be worshipped. As a father, it's very difficult to understand in this American. But two things we always hear. Two things that we do as a father, talking to myself. One is instructing, and second is questioning. Only these two things try to do. Hey, why did you do this? Or you do this. That's it. So the tendency for the child to love is broken actually by these two things. You have to be very careful. Talking to myself, um, not do this only. You have to show some love also. Like how the Supreme Lord, even we are not approaching Him, even we are not worshipping, still the Supreme Lord is giving the mercy, right? And immediately, if somebody is, our kids are not listening, then we try to chastise or do something different. Not listening, I'm saying, doing other activities. So here, Srila Prabhupada, with his father, was building the chariot for Lord Jagannath, and then he invited so many of his friends, and he assigns different services for different people, and especially the favorite service Srila Prabhupada assigned kachoris for this. I heard that he has a nickname. What is it? Kachori Nandu. His nickname is Kachori Nandu. Nandu is because he's born on Nandu, so he was called as Nandu, and his likes kachoris. Is called Kachori Nandu. It's filled, all the pockets are filled with kachoris. Prabhupada is very fond of kachoris. And how this whole festivity, right? So we heard so many times. Even the Britishers were so amazed by this activity of this festival. Just no advertisements. Today we have to advertise, and everybody is on the road distributing flyers, to each and every person. Like, please do come. We beg people to actually bring the general people in front of Jagannath. But those days there was no advertisement, no Facebooks and no WhatsApps, right? But still, just on that day, lakhs and lakhs of people arrived. Not one day before, not one day after. They all come that day and then they'll disperse next day without having any advertisements. And even the Britishers are so amazed, like, how this happening? Why, how they can come like this? And they started actually stopping the festival, but because it's having a lot of people and stampeding is happening, and it's not good. A lot of people are dying. All that reasons they try to stop the festivity. But by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, this festivity started every other place, including London. So that is the power of Srila Prabhupada, that he brought this festivity. How and why the Lord is coming, right? If we just understand why the Lord is descending to this material world, we go through the basic identity of this beautiful form, and then we look at the things that how Jagannath's features are. We just focus on those two. Lord says in Bhagavad Gita, right? Paritramana Dharma samstapana. That is something big. So now here the Lord is saying the purpose is to kill the demons, protect the devotees, and then establish Dharma. These are the three things that the Lord is saying. In Kali Yuga, which form the Lord is appearing? Right? In the purport, actually, Srila Prabhupada writes in the holy name, right? To protect the devotees, one holy name is enough. To kill the demons, actually, Krishna can kill just like that. But just because of various reasons, right? When you understand, just we had, I think 4 years ago, we had COVID, and everybody forgot. Or now so many wars are happening, or natural calamities. Krishna can kill the demons with any natural calamity. He doesn't need to come actually. And to establish dharma, one pure devotee like Srila Prabhupada is re-establishing dharma by giving this wonderful process of chanting and hearing. So why Krishna comes then? Krishna comes only to give pleasure and happiness to the devotees. Actually, this is the only reason. All other things are Krishna can anyhow he can do. But how that beautiful exchanges of love can happen when he comes in different forms. When he comes, the devotees will have loving exchanges, and devotees will serve the Supreme Lord, and then they develop that attachment to the Supreme Lord. So that's how the Lord is actually coming to this way. He's descending actually. He's descending. One time, Lord Ramchandra asked Hanuman, "Why are you carrying me on your back? Why don't you carry me by holding us both?" Uh, So he said, like, I don't have adhikar to hold you like Dasharatha had. I don't have adhikar to hold you like Dasharatha. But when you are sitting on the back, when we don't have adhikar, we can't hold the Supreme Lord. When you are on back, when I'm flying, actually you hold me. You hold me. And that Supreme Lord is actually holding me, the devotees. So, and then the Supreme Lord descends to this material world. And when Ram asked again, like, why you have to carry and we have to come down in front of Sugriva? Then the Hanuman says, you have to descend from higher plane to the lower. So when you walk just like that, Sugriva may think you are an ordinary person. We have to descend. I'll fly and then you descend from it. That's how Sugriva said. So this is this is how the Lord is descending to the material plane through this plane. But looking at how Hanuman is thinking, when we cannot hold the Supreme Lord, but when Supreme Lord holds us, that is a perfection. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the same Supreme Lord, gives five things. Right? One, if you have to love one Lord, love Lord Krishna. You have to love a land that is Vrindavan Dham. Not any other place. If you have to follow Gopi Jana, the footsteps of Gopis, the Brajvasis, you have to follow. If you have to follow, if you have to love a book, love Srimad Bhagavatam. You have the fifth one is most important. Having the goal to achieve the Supreme Lord by developing love and affection towards Him. These five things the Supreme Lord is coming as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is giving. One should develop these five things. Love for Krishna, worship Krishna, and then love the Supreme Land, Vrindavan Dham, follow the footsteps of Brajvasis, develop attachment to Srimad Bhagavatam, and then have the goal to reach the Supreme Lord by developing love and affection, by rendering service to the Supreme Lord, and by hearing the pastimes and glories of the Supreme Lord. So, Lord Jagannath, when he comes, why Lord Jagannath and Lord Chaitanya, these two personalities, if you understand these two personalities, Jagannath Kshetra is also called Vipralamba Kshetra. The mood of Vrindavan, where the devotees in Vrindavan they don't have the Aishwarya Bhav. We have heard so many times. Because when we have this Aishwarya Bhav, Krishna doesn't like it. He always thinks because of I am giving blessings, these people are coming to me. Because I am doing these things for these people, they are worshipping me. He is having this kind of a feeling. For suppose it doesn't happen. But if he is not God, if somebody feels he is not God, then they don't come to him. They'll go away from right. So, but in the Vrindavan, how Damodara pastimes, how Krishna's dealings with gopis and his friends, sakas, happens like they don't feel anything different than putting Krishna as supreme lord, something like that. They always like, hey, my friend, my son, like that. The Vrajavasis feel. One time, Mother Yashoda was like told, you know who it is? He's the supreme lord Vishnu. And Mother Yashoda says, he Supreme Lord Vishnu feeds everybody. Here, my son, he cannot feed himself. How can he be a Supreme Lord Vishnu? Now, that is the mood that they carry, right? So, all the sakas, when they're playing with Krishna, one beautiful pastor, where like Krishna try to throw the stones to the fruits. Always, as usual, Krishna fails to hit the fruit and then he loses. And then Krishna sagas come and then they throw the stone. They hit the fruit. They get the fruit. Krishna, they'll say, look at you. You lost. You can't do this also. Krishna enjoys his devotees' reciprocation like that. Right? And he's always in that mood, in the mood of Vrindavan. From that mood of Vrindavan, then he's stepping out of Vrindavan to Mathura and then Dwaraka. Why? He has to come out and then speak Bhagavad Gita also. Right? If he starts Bhagavad Gita Sarvadharman Parityajya in Vrindavan, then nobody even thinks about it, what is he talking about. No, they don't even reciprocate like that. And then now he stepped out of Vrindavan. He went to Mathura, and from Mathura, because of all the demons attacking attacking Krishna, so he moved out to Dwaraka. Now Dwarka is very far, but Krishna's mood is always thinking about the Vrindavan pastimes, the devotees, the Vrajavasis separation. He is thinking about them always. Just because of that, one time there is a solar eclipse where Krishna thought, okay, let's take all the Dwarka Vasis to Kurukshetra. Being a Dharma Kshetra, he actually brought all the Vrajavasis, the Dwarka Vasis to Kurukshetra, and at the same time he informed Vrajavasis also that Kurukshetra. Then that is where the Vrajavasis, after 100 years, seeing Krishna face to face, and seeing Krishna face to face, and Krishna actually looking at them, then he is having that feeling of separation. And Srimati Radharani and the other gopis, when this whole Rath Yatra pastime, we heard of Narad how he got the darshan of Lord like that, and another pastime is where by looking at all the Brajvasis after 100 years, then the Lord actually expands. His eyes are dilated, his hands are shrunk, his legs are shrunk. So he manifested this form. And Srimati Radharani, with all his her gopis, actually meditated as though that Lord actually is coming on a chariot. She was meditating that Lord being on a chariot and then taking the support of all the gopis and pulling the chariot with all the gopis' help into the Vrindavan. So this Jagannath Rath Yatra is resembling that, pulling the chariot of Lord Jagannath into the hearts of every devotee. That is the most important thing. Whoever sees the Supreme Lord on the chariot, next birth. And also, there, when we pull the Rath into the hearts of our hearts, then we develop the love of So that is how this beautiful, pastime taking place. How this, the separation of the Lord is exhibited. But at the same time, Krishna also wants to understand what is the feeling of Radharani. And that separation, what is that separation? Krishna, at the same time, Krishna also developed thought, I want to experience that higher taste of Radharani. That's how Lord Krishna coming in Kali Yuga as Lord Chaitanya Prabhu, coming as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and exhibiting these symptoms of separation, ecstasy of love for Krishna. When Lord Chaitanya actually exhibits this, especially during the Rath Yatra time, where Lord Chaitanya must happen after sannyas at 24 years, 6 years he was traveling, and after 6 years, next 18 years he was in Jagannath, developing, exhibiting these symptoms, especially Rath Yatra, where Lord Chaitanya is dancing in front of Lord Jagannath. When he is dancing in front of Jagannath, one time he was singing a song where you are like this same boy, I'm like the same girl, like that. And when he's singing, nobody is understanding why he is singing like that. Jagannath is Lord Krishna in separation of Srimati Radharani. The Lord Chaitanya is Lord Krishna, but in the mood of Radharani in separation of Lord Krishna. So, except Rupa Goswami, nobody understands this song that Lord Chaitanya actually sung. Then when Rupa Goswami was actually parallelly writing the meaning of that, he was hiding that, whatever he has written. Lord Chaitanya, when he came, the Lord Chaitanya saw that. And he was asking Sarvadhamma Goswami, how can he understands me? And so Sarvadhamma Goswami, I mean, Lord Chaitanya asked, he was telling, just because of your mercy. Many times we always think whatever we do, it is because of my effort or because of have this mood of I own this, right? But Swarup Goswami's answer is because of your mercy, he can understand. Whatever we do in our life, but in especially what we're doing, right? Everything has to be sanctioned by the Supreme Lord. Without that, you cannot do anything. Right? I did this, I did the chariot, I did cooking, I did this, I did that. Everything we have this. And that is what the Lord doesn't like. If you look at the wonderful pastime of how the Sudarshan Chakra coming to the left side, right? Many times we heard. I have whenever I visited South India, especially the Sudarshan Chakra is called Chakra Talwar, you know, and is very almost every temple Sudarshan Chakra is being backed by the Supreme Lord's avatars, like Lord Narsingh. Most of them have Lord Narsingh or Varahadev, sometimes Varahadev in the back. Initially I don't know that. I was asking why always Sudarshan Chakra has to be, accompanied by the Narsinga or whatever. And the Pujari was nicely explaining that actually the Sudarshan Chakra generates immense amount of heat. There's an immense amount of heat that it can burn the whole universe. It can burn the whole universe. That much heat it generates. But without, that's why he has to be always, with the Supreme Lord's hands. If it just goes out, it can burn the entire universe. But now, being Sudarshan Chakra, being on the right hand side of the Supreme Lord, develop that pride that I am being put on the right side of the Supreme Lord. That just because of that one thing, the Supreme Lord, Sudarshan Chakra, uh, the Supreme Lord assigned the task to Sudarshan Chakra, where Sudarshan Chakras can you go and bring Lord Hanuman to the temple. And then the Sudarshan Chakra goes out uh, and then brings the Hanumanji. Hanumanji comes, and Sudarshan Chakra split into four parts, and it covers all the four doors of the Jagannath temple. Just spinning, all four gates it is spinning. Just because of that, Lord Hanuman, what is this? It's just spinning and I cannot enter. Then immediately Hanumanji prays to the Lord Supreme Lord, Lord Ramchandra. And then he develops another four hands. And he develops another four hands. He holds his spinning Sudarshan with the four hands. And with the two hands, he was praying to the Jagannathji and then entering into the temple. So when he entered into the temple like that, and Sudarshan was being humiliated, then that's why when the Supreme Lord asked actually to be on the left side, and being a stick, actually losing the personality on the left side of the Jagannath. And because of this humiliation, Sudarshan Chakra accepted the humiliation. And because Sudarshan accepted its humiliation, the Supreme Lord again awarded Sudarshan Chakra being on top of the temple. And just because of that, right, whoever sees the chakra is actually directly seeing the Supreme Lord. During COVID time, we not come into the temple, we just come outside and some rounds, take darshan of the Sudarshan Chakra outside. just because of that, we are actually directly taking the darshan of the Supreme Lord. There is no difference. So the main point I would like to say is how the Supreme Lord doesn't like this pride in devotees' hearts. In many ways, he just crushes the pride in the devotees' hearts so that he wants his devotees to be humble. They're talking the other day, like, because we don't have adhikar to go into different pastimes of the Supreme Lord. And the only qualification is we just need to be humble. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given this six-astic prayers there. He's explaining the third verse. Otherwise, we cannot understand anything in this completing process. I'm talking to myself many times, being humiliated by the mind's vicious thoughts, and looking at how the Supreme Lord's features. We just go few features of the Supreme Lord. So that's how we can understand how Supreme Lord Jagannath is appearing. When he saw the Srimati Radharani and gopis, his eyes are dilated, his eyes are shrunk. So in this form, if you look at the Supreme Lord's form, especially you heard so many times, but just for purification of myself and remembering myself, the, the beautiful eyes of the Supreme Lord, they are completely dilated and so big, and the colors of these Supreme eyes, the three colors that represent three, um, moods of the Supreme Lord actually. Hmm. So there are three colors, right? Everyone was red, white, and black. And this redness actually talking about the intoxication of looking at the Vrajavasis, Supreme Lords, who is completely intoxicated. And then the white is the peaceful because of a separation of 100 years. Now he is seeing the Vrajavasis, he's becoming so peaceful. And then the black is actually called as poison. Just because, why poison? Because of this union, darshan of this union. And after the union, again there is a separation. So that is going to happen in future. The separation again will happen. That's why it is called the poison, the black color in the within that ice. And then also, if you look at the Supreme Lord's hands, right, they are outstretched completely. This Lord Chaitanya comes, then he raises his arms, and Gopal Nachi is actually lifting one hand to hold Govardhan. So different forms of the Lord have different features of the hands, how they come. And here, Lord Jagannath is actually outstretched his hands to accept everyone, whoever comes towards him. And Lord Chaitanya is running by raising his hands, running towards Lord Jagannath's embrace. And whoever following Lord Chaitanya's footsteps, and everyone is embraced by the Lord Jagannath. His hands are outstretched like that, and legs. Um, you know, I've seen like when I was serving Jagannath in the temple, his hands are visible and you can ornament, but legs are not visible, right? Manifested. I was always having this thought like, why legs are not manifested? I have like beautiful pastime of how when Krishna is going to the forest, how his when he's cowherding, right? Maharaj had so many people to herd the cows, but Krishna personally goes to herd the cows. And cows have hooves. They don't actually get the heat. They are actually taken care of. But Krishna don't have that. But Krishna also refused to have the chappals, sandals, right? Because you are not giving sandals to all the cows, then I also don't take. And because of that, Krishna goes into Vrindavan. Actually, Vrindadevi takes care of everything. Right? He doesn't get hurt actually. But the mood of the Brajvasis, right? The mood of Brajvasis, how Krishna is being hurt by walking on the temples and thorns and in Vrindavan, they always worry for his legs. Just because of that, Jagannath, now you don't need to feel that my legs are hurt because my legs are shrunk completely. You cannot even see the legs. So that's how the Lord Jagannath actually um, appearing. And one thing is Lord Jagannath do not have eyelids, right? So he's always opening his eyes before the pastor. How he's chastised Brahma, um, incorrect design. And here Jagannath is coming, I design my own eyes without eyelids. So that he is always open to see the devotees and reciprocate with the devotees. That is how he is coming as Lord Jagannath. Especially how Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu spent his 18 years in Jagannath Puri, taking complete shelter and attachment to the Lord Jagannath. We also following in the footsteps of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Lord Nityananda Prabhu. We also have to follow in their footsteps because without Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda Prabhu's mercy, we cannot understand the Radha and Krishna. Especially if you just utter the Lord Nityananda Prabhu's, not just hear the Lord Nityananda Prabhu's name, all the sins are. But once we hear the Lord Gauranga's name, the love for Krishna actually develops, right? But just if you understand, Ruchidas Thakur says, Parama Karuna, Parama Karuna. So they are the most merciful incarnation. So, but they are giving the mercy, but I am not taking. Bhajo Bhajo Chaitanya Nitaya. Sudruda Vishwasa. So this, how we have to say the names of Lord Nityananda and Lord Gauranga with the faith. When we have the faith and we chant the names of Lord Nityananda and Lord Gauranga, then we actually develop the love for Krishna. The stones are melting, the animals are, hearts are melting, but my heart is not melting. Like that. Because of all the attachments carrying, with all the anarthas taunting, I am not able to see, understand the beautiful vastness of Lord Jagannath or Lord Krishna. With that, I'd like to end here. It's already 9:20. I know you have so many services. Please forgive me if I spoke anything wrong or inappropriately or above my adhikar. I definitely do not have the adhikar to speak, but just for my own purification and so that I can also hear about the glories of Lord Jagannath and Lord Chaitanya. This spoke. Thank you so much. Thank you, Krishna. So many services.
Yes, I want to add one thing. I heard that on normal case, a sick patient goes to see the doctor. But when the patient is very sick, the doctor will go home. This is like a home visit from Lord Jagannath. He goes to will come inside. That's a very nice point I heard, and it was really,
Yes.
appreciate it. Thank you very much. Very nice.
We'll hear more in the afternoon. So,
Can I say something?
yes.
Yes.
No, we will hear more in the afternoon. There is no time now to speak about this unlimited glories of Lord Jagannath.
Thank you for the beautiful class today. Just so full of beautiful information. But what I want to try to tie the majority of your talk to the shloka. And that it's amazing to me that the Srimad Bhagavatam talks about what I've heard called Naga Babas, or what I know as the Agor.
Yes.
It's incredible that they're even mentioned there. And then there are, it seems to me, very few religions like ours that venerate the holy crazy person. Yes, the avadut. Yeah, and that our principal religious examples, and we dedicate our lives in some way to just a scintilla of trying to emulate them. Nityananda Prabhu and Chaitanya Prabhu, Mahaprabhu. It seems to me that those Shaivite crazy people, right? That mercy of Shiva, bringing people who are that insane and that desperate into the mercy of the number one devotee of Krishna, right? Is Lord Shiva. So then, I myself was a crazy person living in squalor. It is truly, the mercy of the Lord that, I still am like a dog who wandered into this place. And yet I still, there's some transmutation of insanity for the Lord that it seems, I don't know, it's just that process, it'll pull you through, right? Like, I was a complete maniac, materialistic, crazy person. Surely, I was definitely attracted to the agora. In fact, many years ago, I said, if I fail out of this life completely, I will just go and live in the cremation ground and eat out of a skull and the rest of it. That was my sort of last, but now that I see there's different kind of crazy people for Vishnu, it's just much, I'm much more safe, and then it reminds me also of when Chaitanya, of course, he sees the Jagannath statue for the first time, and then he just passes out. And they drag his body, big beautiful body, into, was it Mathendrapuri, one of the other, and then he's passed out for days after just seeing the statue. So there's just so much, I don't know where I'm going exactly, other than that, that craziness seems to be an essential part of what we do here, and I just love it so much, It's so merciful, certainly has saved me again. So thank you again for your talk. I just wanted to talk a little bit about that.
Thank you for explaining and connecting that with the.
Yeah, I wanted to connect it. But yeah, if I fail out of existence, I might have some japa and ash. But
Srimad Bhagavatam ki
All right.
jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Very, very nice and inspiring talk. Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Please pray for me.
Please pray for all of us, Prabhu.